Good afternoon, this is Richard from Jonesboro Taekwondo Dojang. Continuing on with videos on basic Taekwondo techniques. And last time we did the fist and the punch, so we're going to move to the Knifehand Strike, also known as the cross cut. Okay, so this would be an outside knife hand coming from your inside, crossing over to your outside. Okay, now your striking surface on the hand is this knife edge right here. Okay, between the wrist and the fingers. Not the fingers. That'll maybe get you a point in a tournament, but more if you try to hit anything solid with your fingers, especially if you got a loose hand, all you're going to do is hurt yourself. And that can be extended all the way up into this ulnar bone here. Okay, so it'd be more like a forearm smash. Okay, so you want the hand to be tight. So you're going to curl your fingers, tighten up the tendons in your hand, draw your thumb in. Doesn't have to be touching, but you draw it in here just to pack those bones together, okay? Something like this right here. Wrist is straight, okay? You don't want to try to cut through with a bent wrist, okay? So, and as we throw this, okay, what I tell people is kind of cup your ear. It's coming textbook, it's coming over here, palm into your ear, okay? And your retreating or pulling hand is going to be underneath here, across your ribs. Okay, and generally it'll be closed. Okay, so you want to load your hip up for maximum power, and as you get close to the target, then you flip it over to add a little bit of snap and power to your strike. Where you're going to aim through the target. So right out here, when it gets close, that's when it flips over and carries on through. Okay. Now your retreating hand pulls back to punch position on the hip for the drill. Okay. Real life, it could be doing a multitude of things. But think of it as your pulling hand, or it could even be a striking hand as it comes through here. Okay. So I'm assuming a back stance here. So when I chamber this, it's coming over here to my ear. Retreating or pulling hand is across the ribs, and my hip is loaded up for maximum power. If you're going to board break, or you're just trying to get the maximum power out of the strike. Okay. And as I strike, the strike is initiated from my center. As I snap off my hips here, that rotation I've got into them. I rotate into the strike. So I've got my hand loaded, my retreating hand across. As I come across here, it's going to flip over at the last moment. Okay, thus. Okay, right before it hits the target, so I can add that snap to it, and then it's going to carry through the target. Okay. Okay. So load the hip, got your retreating hand, and slice. Thus. Okay. Right through your target. Okay. The target is about dead center. I'm aiming straight through, so that there's no slowdown or hesitation before I get to the target. Okay. I can raise my center of gravity slightly and drop it and anchor to the floor from my stance to add a little bit of power to it. But it's mostly from the hip snap. Okay, that's what I get out of my body, and I want to set into the ground so I'm anchored at the moment that my knife hand strikes the target. Okay? Again, remember, your target is in this area, or your weapon is in this area, not your fingertips. Okay, if you have a loose hand, even if you hit in the proper place, it's going to slam your fingers together and hurt you. Okay, so strike through your target with your knife hand thus. Snaps over at the last instant. Remember your hip snap. Also remember your angles. So a good target for this is anywhere along the side of the neck. You could go to the temple, but there's a lot of hard bones around there if you miss. Nose, ribs, groin, kidneys. Solar plexus, not the ideal one for there, but it'll work. So your angles could be cross cut downward, okay, or straight across, or even under like that. So you've got someone twisted in, and you drop down, cut straight to the groin. So it's got a lot of different uses. It's kind of something that's well known for people that don't do martial arts. We don't use the word karate chop, but that's when I was a kid what they used to call it. Okay, so this is your cross cut or outside knife hand strike. Okay, thank you very much. Students, check it out, practice it at home, bring what you learned to class.